Yo, what's good? Everyday Superpower, the place where you learn about, where you communicate about, when you interact with, consider, and philosophize on body language, nonverbal communication, and everything in between. Okay? We're going to talk about attraction, we're going to talk about eyes, we're going to just riff on a few ideas here, people. Okay? So, let's have a think about the eyes and how they stand so bold on a person's face. When we look at somebody, we look to, don't get me wrong, speaking in regards to me being a fella and so forth, my eyes might identify a few places in the grand scheme of things, but as far as the face is concerned, after assessing the sex of the individual, I will look to the eyes. We will look to the eyes. When we look at a face, we concentrate our force more so within the area of the eyes. Now, eyes, as far as shape are concerned, are horizontal. They're almost like lemons as far as the shape is. They are oval. And on the face, which has a strong vertical element, from the steepness of the sides of the face, the falling hair, the nose down the center of the face, the center point, the eyes stand bold, we orient to them. During conversation, we tend to fall within hours of negotiating our own personal rule set in regards to this communication, in regards to the context of the communication, where we are within whomever else is participant of the communication through whichever means, externally or involved in the conversation. We will negotiate the rules of this visual communication and engagement. When an individual is relaxed, the lower lids of the open eye will barely touch the bottom circumference of the iris, okay? The upper eyelid will cover a good deal of the top of the eye. Whereas when an individual is excited, the eyes will open wider and more of the iris will show, okay? So I've done a video in regards to, it's a little bit of a buzz as far as what I called it, but it was in reference to love at first sight, and when someone initially sees you, that big, bold, light bulb eye. That communicates wow as they see you and make eye contact with you. The momentary yet bold flash of the eyes as they look to you and express a subtle it's not even subtle, a bold micro expression of shock, of joy, of absorption. The eyes open up to absorb more of what is being seen. When we don't want to see something, we won't look at it. When we don't want to see something, we will scratch at our eye. We will rub our eyebrows, rub our nose. We will do anything to sort of find the means of obstructing our view from that as to which we find unattractive and repulsive. So when the individual is to some degree excited, more than likely the eyes will open wider, showing more of the iris and more of the eye in general. On the contrary, if the individual is strongly attracted. We may divert from the wide open boldness of the flashbulb eye to a droop of the top eyelids, creating bedroom eyes, creating a receptive, almost hypnotic glance in your direction. As always, we can pay attention to the dilation of the pupils. If we are to look as to whether the individual is aroused through whichever means, there will be a natural dilation of the pupil, which in further correlation with the opening of the eyelids can be a showcase of absorbing visual stimuli more and more. We like what we see, so let's just absorb it whilst it's here. We're not pushing it away, we're not blocking it out. It's not an eye-blocking behaviour. As we look into the eyes of those who are looking back at us and we are assessing for the dilation, if not the constriction of the pupil, by default, we are engaging in great eye contact. We are creating connection, personal connection. The eyes are connected to the brain. We are looking at the brain at that very moment in point. Not an indirect stem of the brain, you know? Do your eye contact repel off of each other? Or does the initial eye contact you have with a stranger? And when I say that, I don't necessarily... Well, you know, you may catch somebody glancing at you in the gym, at the coffee shop. I say the gym because I experienced this the other day. I was messing about, doing a few lat pull downs, doing my thing, growing my wings, learning how to fly. I turn around and catch a girl looking at me direct into my eyes as I turn around. Now, she could have been looking at me thinking, what's he doing? That form's terrible, but the point still stands. There was some degree of attraction as the attention was being directed towards me, you see. And then turning around, there was no quick, sharpshoot disconnect of the eye contact. There was a mutual understanding of acknowledgement through the length of experience the eye contact persisted for. Now, I'm not going out of my way to play these games in the gym. I got to attend there on a regular basis. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to stare at anyone. So it was what it was, but it was long enough to speak the message. Okay? When the eye contact is prolonged, yeah, in a mutual gaze, it can very easily showcase smitten behaviour. If two individuals are to lock eyes longer than the usual 1-2 second glance, it may be a bold declaration of attraction, but I'm going to leave that one to you. Without further ado, that was just a little bit of food for thought, people. I hope you enjoyed that, and if so, click subscribe. And without further ado, I'm signing out. Peace.